Hey guys, James, grabbing the brisket here. We're at on-set location at Hometown Sports Bar in Pearland, Texas, and we got the owner, chef, Ram, here with us.
Ram Aguilera. Put it out
Ram
there.
Aguilera.
There it is, yeah. So not just Hometown Sports Bar and Grill, but also Hometown Seafood Company as well.
Yeah, we added a restaurant to our portfolio this year, opened in July, and it started off great. It's been a little slower for the summer, but once people figure out where they were going to be good. Yeah. Reviews are great, and people are enjoying what we have, so we just got to let everybody know where we're at.
Dude, that's fantastic. First and foremost, thank you for hosting us here.
Yeah, thanks for coming.
It's an awesome place. It's something that we're quite familiar with. I know Jan.
Right. Oh, you've been here?
Yeah.
Yeah. Hey, I have multi-$100 bills a night here. Okay.
Yeah, so, you paid the electric bill a couple of times.
100%. Let's go. No, honestly, yeah, dude. This is kind of a cool thing because I never thought that we'd actually be able to do this here or whatever. And then when we started talking, you're like, let's do one. Let's come up here. And then we're here for your 10-year anniversary.
Yep.
Let's fucking go, dude.
Right. So we've been. It's kind of confusing even to us because the real deal is we started as Mexico Bar and Grill.
Yep. Right? I remember. I was here
10 years ago.
Yeah.
And then we changed to Stadia Sports Grill about 5 years ago. And then we changed to Hometown Sports Bar and Grill 2 years ago.
Yeah.
So to say it's our 10-year anniversary as a company and as a family, it's our 10th year here. But as Hometown, it's only 2. So was it last year? Yeah, 2 years ago we did Stadia's 10-year anniversary.
Yeah,
because we had the other Stadia on the other side of town. So we did a 10-year anniversary, then we did a 9-year anniversary, and now we're doing another 10-year anniversary. So last night people were like, what the hell are y'all doing? Are y'all just making these dates
every year is 10 year?
You can only be 10 one time. Yeah, what's going on?
So we're thoroughly confused, everybody in the city, I'm sure. But our company has been here for 10 years in this spot.
Yeah.
And we ain't going nowhere, and Hometown is not changing. So we'll be Hometown. Stadia always called ourselves Pearland's Hometown Sports Bar. And the deal was we were ready to expand, and I didn't want to open another Stadia because there was a lot of confusion around the name, and there had been other Stadias in other cities, Sugarland, Katy, and they weren't run very well. So to still associate with that name to me was just done. Plus, we were the only ones left, and we were the franchise location, so it just made sense to rebrand at that point and make ourselves Hometown Sports Bar.
There it is, man. Yeah. I tell you right now, I like the passion, and I like the way you put it out there because it's not like you're not new to running a business, you're not new to running a restaurant or whatever else, and I see some similarities here and there because Stadia was right, it was a big business that y'all had, but at the end of the day, like this place has been rebranded to a Hometown Sports Bar and Grill, and dude, this place is packed out here like a crazy who thought Thursday nights was. I think Wednesday nights are not a new thing, right? You know what I mean? Like, it used to be Friday nights were like the thing, Saturday nights. No, it's Wednesday nights are crazy here. Yeah. Thursday nights are freaking crazy here.
Yeah, we were here. I got a cool story. So I've got a new employee that works here. Her name's Alex, and I was standing by the wait station with her. Was it last night? It might have been last night or the night before. I've had a few cocktails over the last weekend.
Yeah. Cheers to that.
So she pulls me aside and she goes, "Hey, do you ever look out at the restaurant and think to yourself, man, I did this?"
Yeah.
And I was like, well, no, I usually look out and go, how can we make it better? But as a new employee, I guess for her it was cool. I mean, it is still cool for me too. But I told my wife the story later on the day, and I was like, you know what? It is pretty cool because it used to be crickets in here, on a Thursday it'd be like 5 tables. Nothing. So to see an NFL kickoff, a day like we did this week, where we're packed, and Friday night we were jam-packed with karaoke. Last night, Little Joe and the Southern Brown Band played last night, packed again. So it is pretty cool, to see it. The what we've gone through and the levels of COVID and all that crap. It's just cool to see people enjoy what we're doing, and part of it is, with a name like Hometown, we've always tried to support local organizations, the chamber, the Lions Club, the high school, and there's a saying in the Lions Club where they say you don't get very far unless you're doing for others, and we've kind of taken that to heart as a concept. So we do a lot of donations to the Booster Club, and we get paid back double,
tenfold.
Yeah, man. we cater a lot of city lunches and teachers' lunches, and we're an approved vendor for Pearland ISD, the school district. So it's pretty cool to see, people you meet out in the community that have never even heard of us. And I'm like, how are we this busy? And I still run into people every day. They're like, where are you at?
Right.
And so if we're this successful now, and there's that many people that don't know about us, to me, it's just promising to know that we're still meeting new customers.
That's what I'm talking about. Hell yeah. What you got, Jay?
I got. Actually, I want to know, like, how did this start? I mean, obviously, you've been doing the restaurant business for a long time.
Yeah.
But, did you grow up? Your family had restaurants? How did this begin?
Well, so I got in the restaurant business kind of I don't want to say by accident, but I came to Houston to go to U of H on an academic scholarship. And I was going to school for 2 years, and I lost my scholarship because it was a little kid in the big cities. Probably a common story, right?
Time to go, man.
Lost my scholarship, got it back, lost it again. And I told my parents, like, I'm not going to go to school. School's not for me. And my dad said, well, then you're paying for everything. So I got a job at Hooters.
Nice.
Yeah, dream job as a cook.
I'm trying to imagine you in the outfit.
Hold on. Yeah.
So I got a job at Hooters as a cook, and grinded it out, man. I was I was a good cook, so they offered me a job as a kitchen trainer. So I went to El Paso, and I went to Canada, and I went to a few other states to open some stores.
Nice.
As a trainer. Got into management, and then I was next thing I know, I was a training GM at 24. Worked for Hooters for 14 years.
Yeah.
And then me and some Hooters general managers who thought we knew what we were doing were like, we can do this shit ourselves.
I love that, right?
Let's get out of here. So we had all the experience. We were like, let's go do it ourselves. We opened a restaurant, failed, and but kept going. And every other restaurant I tried to get a little bigger piece of it. Mm-hmm. And then got some partners here. We bought them out. Now this is ours by ourselves. Me and my wife Stacy partnered with somebody else to do hometown seafood, and just keep learning and keep going and try to build something great.
So it's just, I think this resonates a lot with me in general, and probably James, because like we think about this all the time, right? Like, we've grown up in the restaurant business. Him and I have. And you just don't know what you don't know, right? And everybody thinks like, oh, I could just make some good food. If we just made really good food, it would be okay. You're like, that's not it.
Nope.
Everybody thinks that. It's about the business. It's about the branding. It's about being able to stick through the hard times when trust me, I know there have been hard times, right?
Yeah.
But it's sticking through that shit and getting past it to create something successful. A lot of people can't do it. And that's where you weed out, like, I'm not saying winners from losers, whatever else, because it's just bad breaks. It's a bad break when you open a restaurant, you pour your heart and soul into something, and it fucking fails. That sucks.
Yeah.
But for you, you're like, dude, you recognized, well, obviously, you had your very beginning, right, where you opened this venture up. It doesn't do so well. Because you're thinking like, man, I know this. I got this. We can all do this.
Yeah.
We're just telling people what to do. Like, it's fine. Hey, go cook that. Go make this. Go do that. Yeah. It ain't like that, though, right?
But the hardest part to me about, probably this isn't just true for restaurants, but any entrepreneur, business owner, whatever else is, if you got a job and you got a paycheck, and you go to your job and you don't see the fruits of your labor because you're working hard, right, but nobody recognizes you, so it kind of sucks. But you still get a fucking paycheck. Can I cuss?
Yeah.
You get a paycheck.
Yeah. We're normal people.
Yeah. So if you have a restaurant or a business, a lawn company, whatever else, and you don't see the fruits of your labor because you're not making enough money, you don't get a fucking paycheck.
Right.
So
that's it.
To still keep the drive and adjust and try to figure out where you can do something different and keep going is probably the hardest part about any entrepreneurial level, because and COVID was a pretty good test of this, because any restaurant, probably any business who went through COVID and said, I'm going to get this PPP money, or I'm going to get this loan, and I'm just going to wait it out, and when things open back up, everything will be great. Those are the ones that failed. Yeah. But if you went into COVID and really tried to take a step back and adjust what you were doing, move some pieces around, do something different, those are the ones, like Grazia, who did some stuff with their market, and we opened a to-go center up front, and did family packs, for for people that were balling on a budget. And those are the people that did something different and did well. But you got to just adjust and figure it out. Don't quit.
I think that's the difference, though.
Yep.
Right. That's the difference. It's pretty fucking badass, man. I'm not gonna lie.
And Harvey was another one. Y'all were still open.
Yeah, Harvey, and luckily, I don't know what it is, but every what was it? What was the flood? Was that Harvey?
Yeah.
So we've never lost power here, which is crazy.
I know that I got several meals from here. I live across the street, and I walked over because we couldn't drive out of our neighborhood. So I walked through the floodwaters and came over here and would get food.
Yeah, we never lost power. We never lost product, and we were always able to reopen really quickly.
Yeah.
So, and what I loved about that's gonna be tough. I don't want to say I love what I appreciate about an event like that, a storm or something.
Yeah.
When we can open back up, what I find is people want to come here because they want an escape, right? Their house sucks. There's no power. Something happened in their family. Their sister,
AC.
there's something happened.
Yep.
And all people want to come do is tell a story. Yeah. They're like, dude, this is what happened to me this week. And they're like, hey, man. So, and what was weird about Harvey is, as I would visit tables, and like we would run out of food at night, because we couldn't get deliveries and stuff like that. But is you would be sitting at one table and you'd be like, "No, man, I'm high and dry. I'm good. We're no power. I mean, we were fine."
Right.
I'd go to you and like, I lost everything, dude. My whole first floor. Yeah. So it was like just hit or miss. But people just wanted to tell the story, They wanted to get some AC for once in a week.
Just 100%. Yeah. Think about that. Yeah.
Well, I think that we talk about a lot when we do the barbecue thing, and we're going to open up our business. But one thing we kind of talk back and forth, one thing I think that you do really well, just like you were saying, is that being able to connect to the community, being able to connect to the people here to where they see you as not just somebody that runs a bar and grill, but they see you as a friend, a person that you can come to and hang out. Yeah. And I think in order for you to have a successful business restaurant, I think you have to put yourself out there. You have to be involved.
I totally agree. Like, you are this place, right?
Yeah.
Like, anytime you're not here, okay, great, we have a good time. But I'm telling you, when I come in, I see you, and you're like, hey, what's up, man? It's like, hey, the fucking owner just said what's up, right? It's a thing. And I think people think about that.
You're right. They do appreciate it for sure.
100%, man. I mean,
because we decided to open another restaurant, Hometown Seafood, which is 5 minutes from here.
Yep.
So for maybe for 4 months, I just didn't work here. We were busy with construction, and I would pop in, and luckily I've got a great team and a general manager, Scott Cross, who runs the place, where things just kept going, and I kept picking up money, and
right,
it was great.
Hey, life's great, right? Yeah.
But every now and then I get a text from somebody, a customer, like, dude, where the fuck have you been? Like, what's going on? Would you sell the place?
What are you, absentee owner?
Or when I would come in, they're like, hey, my guy is here. I was like, okay, but I do get it. It's just a little different when you're here.
Yeah. I'm telling you, man.
As much as I don't want to, call myself the guy or whatever, it is pretty cool.
There's a different energy when you're in the building and when you're not.
Yeah.
So, it's fucking pretty cool. I'm not gonna lie.
And it'd be harder to do if I didn't like the restaurant, but I fucking love it. It's a lot of fun.
Yeah. Put your heart and soul into this.
Yeah.
So you have a new lineup right now. You have a new menu you're putting out.
Yeah, we just did a new menu revision. So. The Hometown Seafood concept we have, it's a little more elevated food. We do fresh fish 4 times a week, and we've got a couple companies that we buy from that can get us, bycatch products. So, like if these fishermen go out and fish for snapper and they get 50 pounds of pompano by accident, well, the buyers will call me and go, hey, man, I got pompano for $5 a pound. Do you want it? And we can get it, do something cool with it. So we're able to do some pretty neat things there. A couple different kinds of ceviche, Gulf Coast oysters, East Coast oysters. So when I did that restaurant, it kind of like reinvigorated all the cooking stuff, right? Because sports bar food can get kind of...
the food here is... I love the food here.
Yeah, it is great, but it's burgers and wings.
But right? I see what you're saying, though.
So when I got back here a couple of weeks ago, I was like, I need to do something different, man.
You're like, I'm going to chef this motherfucker.
So I'm going to chef the shit out of this thing. So we added some cool, new sandwiches, and We're doing ribs now. Not to take it away from you barbecue guys.
Hey,
but
so
rib is pretty good.
I saw the rack of ribs. I was going to ask you about this. I was in the back of the kitchen earlier, and there was a little half rack of ribs back there.
Yeah.
Are they baby back?
St. Louis.
So St. Louis cut. But you've already, they're already cooked down.
Yeah,
and now you're like just you're grilling them off.
Yep. Yeah,
Dude.
we rub them with
It looks so
chipotle and salt and pepper, and steam them for an hour.
Yeah.
And then chill them, wrap them, and then kind of grill them with some barbecue sauce to order, and they're pretty good.
I'm telling you right now,
they're not fall apart, but
they look pretty legit on that. You walked over and you put a little you scooped them up, and you're like, hey, who's got the ribs?
Yeah.
They're sitting there. I'm like, bro, I got those ribs. I'm gonna eat those things.
You're missing one when the plate goes out.
Right.
Yeah, I think we're going to have video coming up here in a little bit. So the people that are listening, whether it's iTunes or Spotify, slide over to the YouTube channel. You'll be able to see that kind of in action.
That's right.
Yeah, we do a lot of parties here. I mean, it's the place is kind of made for that. So birthdays, celebrations, happy hours. So we have a section of our menu called the Ballers Board section. And things are a little bit more expensive, like, $70, $80.
Yeah.
But it's these huge platters that we call Ballers Boards.
It's a ton of food.
It's a ton of food.
You're like, hey, you're getting your money's worth, okay?
But if you got a group of 10, rather than ordering 2, 3, 4, 5 things, we just sell you this big badass Ballers Board platter with ribs and quesadillas and nachos. And so every time they come out, people are like, what is that? I want one of those.
Right.
It's one of those head turners. So.
Yeah. No. So I shot a picture earlier over here with your Ballers Board you have on the wall.
Yeah.
So how do you get on the wall?
So when you order a Ballers Board picture, we add you to the Ballers Board room.
Okay.
And we put your picture up there with the platter that you ordered.
There it is.
Yeah.
All right. So how extravagant can it get? Like, is it up to you? Can you customize this thing, or is it?
So we used to do like one big one that was like $150.
Yeah.
But now we have 4 different kinds that are a little bit smaller.
So you're like a junior baller?
Yeah.
No, fuck that. We're going
that.
all
Get 2.
ball. Yeah, get 2 of those.
Right.
Why are we tripping over here? Right.
Yeah, we got a sliders Ballers Board that comes with 4 different kinds of sliders and fries and gravy and ranch.
Oh,
And
yeah.
all kinds of
So I'm telling you, they have a country fried slider.
Oh, yeah.
Dude, the country fried chicken. I can't even talk.
Say it again?
The country fried chicken slider is fucking legit. Okay?
It sounds legit.
It's really good. Yeah.
Yeah, little fried chicken sandwiches with cream gravy on it. You can't beat that.
No, you can't.
Bomb.
Yeah. So what's next for you, man? Like,
I don't know. So I really love both concepts. I like the seafood deal because it's a chance to kind of test what you can do as
it's
a
you.
culinary experience.
I feel like the seafood is all you.
Yeah.
I feel like you're just putting your.
Well, my
you know what I
wife, my wife did a lot of the decorating. I mean, she's obviously
Yeah.
the one with taste in the family.
Let's go.
And so she
got
did
you.
all the painting colors. We actually, if you haven't been there, I've got a local artist. Her name is Jenny Bellamy.
Yeah.
And she did this multi-textured oyster mural that is fucking badass. There's nothing like it in the city of Pearland. It's a huge 6 foot by, I guess, 24 foot. It's 4 panels. And it took her a month to do in the restaurant. While we were doing construction, she took up one room. And it's a clear acrylic with gemstones in it. I mean, it's freaking badass. You can probably take a picture and segue into the podcast.
100%. Send us something on that.
Yeah, she's an artist. I think her page is called Art and Soul Creations on Facebook, but she's out of Dickinson, and she does a great job.
Yeah. Is that the place? Is that there by the movie theater?
Yeah.
Okay. I didn't know how I didn't put that together, but we ate there about a month ago. That place is fucking good.
Really?
Yeah.
You ate there?
Denny and I ate there. Yeah. About a month ago. Yeah.
Nice,
Well done, buddy.
bro.
That was good.
That's good.
Yeah. I didn't even realize it was related. I don't know
But
how.
between Floyd's,
What are you, an
I'm
idiot?
stupid. I guess I am.
What are you, an idiot?
I'm gonna go. I'm just gonna leave.
You have
Just press stop when you're done. I'm gonna
You got
go.
a 40 IQ or something? Like,
Hey,
what's
you know what?
going on?
Shut the fuck up about that.
Okay.
between Floyd's
Yeah.
and 288, there really wasn't any, another seafood option.
Yeah.
So we wanted to do something in the heart of Pearland, and where people could get a little bit nicer date spot. I mean, it's legit. It's pretty cool in there.
Well,
Yeah.
listen, I know we're Pearland guys. You guys are Pearland guys. Like, dude, it's pretty cool that we're here. I'm not gonna lie. I'm pretty fucking. I'm stoked.
You're geeked
that
out a little bit. Yeah.
I'm stoked. I'm a little drunk, but I'm stoked that we're fucking even here doing this thing.
It's a little different to be in the studio, I'm sure.
Yeah. Hey, so we actually have a studio now.
Speaking of Pearland guys.
Yeah. Pearland guys. Let's give our boys.
Yeah, there's Charlie Mike Productions.
That's right.
It's Pearland Podcast Studios.
Cool.
Yeah, so they're military guys. Charlie Mike is a military term, whatever else. But yes, dude, we're in a studio now and we got produced. What's
That's pretty cool. You know, so
what's happening?
This kind of came up because I was telling him this idea I had for a podcast. He's like, dude, I have a podcast. I have like hundreds of thousands of followers. I was like, what? I was like, you do?
Yeah.
He goes, I don't even know how we did it. He goes,
It's true, he doesn't.
No.
he goes,
No
"All
clue.
right." Next thing I know, he's like, something happened and we put some food on it. We had 200,000 followers. I was like, what?
Yeah.
So, yeah, we picked his brain a little bit about trying to do something for us.
Dude, I'm telling you right now, like, so y'all could have your own podcast,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah. I really want to do I just want to do a funny one.
Yeah.
Like, you know,
That's what we are. You can't copy us.
yeah, I've got so many restaurant stories that would freaking blow people's minds about the. I mean, if I could have a camera on my back,
Hey,
in the
After Dark.
restaurant, it's like-
Hey, you want to do an After Dark series?
it's so silly.
We'll do one of those.
Yeah.
So instead of After Dark, we're going to call it After Bark.
After Bark.
After
Right,
Bark.
right.
Yeah.
Like barbecue bark.
Yeah.
Right?
I like that.
Yeah.
The After Bark, bro.
It is a funny show.
It is.
All right.
Drinks, please.
What are we doing here?
Give me two.
How do we more?
Right. So, speaking of restaurant stories, and I know you're a busy guy and you got a lot of stuff to do, but how about, so we always have a segment on the podcast where we talk about people's fails and wins. I think we've gone over a lot of the wins that you've done.
Yeah.
Any funny stories, fails, restaurant-wise, cooking-wise, that you know, you're not trying to burn anybody or trying to...
No, hold on. It's like,
I burn shit all the time.
it's like, hey, I had this party. I planned for it. It just sucked.
I don't know what it is about me and bread. I burn bread every fucking time that I put it in the oven.
Hey,
I cannot, to save my, I'll set timers and I'll still burn that shit.
hey, you know what? So I grew up we grew up in a thing. If you weren't scraping your bread, you burn it. If you're not scraping your bread, you ain't cooking it right, bitch.
We make our own croutons at seafood, and I burn the croutons like I don't know, a couple of dozen times. My cooks won't even let me. They're like, we'll do the croutons. Stop.
Look, honestly, like, and I do the same thing with, like, I'm making, like, garlic bread or garlic toast or whatever, but you can sit there and just stare at it in the oven for, like, an hour, and it will not cook, but as soon as you turn your back,
burnt.
Yeah,
done.
burnt.
Yes.
Right. Hey, let me grab this spatula.
Yeah.
Burnt.
Yeah.
It's that
Dude,
quick.
it goes from
That's how we
butter-
know
Hey,
it
you're
was
like,
ready.
oh,
Yeah.
no, it's not. You opened up, not ready. It's a plate. Burnt.
Yeah, usually it's the wife is like, is something burning? You're like,
Yeah.
Fuck.
When the smoke alarm goes off, that's when we knew dinner was ready.
Yeah. Instead of asking, is it burning? Why don't you open the freaking oven, right? Don't.
Yeah, that's the worst when you're like mid-meal and like, this is so good. And they're like, what's that? I'm like, shit, the bread.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It happens for
every
sure.
time.
That's so good. So okay, so we have Hometown Sports Bar and Grill. We have Hometown Seafood.
Yep.
Like, so this is still getting off the ground.
Yeah, so I don't know if I want. So I'm gonna do. I don't know what will be next week. We're working with the realtor now to look for some other locations. I think both. So our tagline with Hometown is, we're off in Texas, but Pearland is our hometown.
Yeah.
And so I can do that anywhere, Corpus, Sugar Land. You know. So we'll keep that tagline, which with whatever restaurant we do, it just has to be the right spot. I'm looking at a spot in Lake Jackson to maybe do another Hometown Seafood. You know, I like second generation spots.
Yeah.
There's so many restaurants that open up and fail. So,
Very quick, right? People
yeah.
with their heart and soul
All
or
the
something.
time.
You're like, bro, you
Yeah,
should have got a
so-
plan together. What? Hey, you should come talk to me.
I had a guy like before COVID. I'm not going to mention names, but I had a guy come see me because he was like, "I want to open a restaurant. Can I talk to him?" I'm like, "Yeah, sure." So we sit down pre-COVID, and he was like, in sales, you know, construction or something, and I'm like, "Why do you want to open a restaurant?" And he's like, "Well, I've always wanted one."
He's like, I want to drink.
And he's like, "I thought I would be cool. I want to do a sports bar." I'm like, "Don't He goes, what advice do you have? I was like, don't do it. Yeah. I go buy some houses and flip houses and do something else. If you just do it to make money, this is not to do. You got to love it. And
it's your passion.
Yeah. I go, if you really want to do it, I'll sell you this one. Because at that time, I was like, we'd done 2 different restaurants, 7 years. And I was like, I'm out. Yeah. I was like, I'll sell you this one for $75,000. You can have it. Yeah. And he was like, no, I really want to do mine. I'm like, okay. I was like, well, don't do full construction. Just find something that's failed, remodel it. You know, that way it's a little investment. You don't have to, spend your whole life savings. Yeah. And he's like, so he did not do that. He went out, built his own sports bar. It clearly cost him like hundreds of thousands of dollars.
What's the name of it?
I can't tell you.
No, bro.
Not dropping names.
I got to go buy that place.
What's wrong with you?
2 years later, the restaurant closed down. And we looked at it to do another hometown sports bar. It just didn't work out. And I was like, you know what's sad? Is I'm going to do exactly what I told this guy to do to his own restaurant after spending all this money, But, so if anybody wants to do a restaurant, my advice would be to start small. And there's so many different ways to do it now with caterings and food trucks to try and figure out if you even like to do it.
Grind it out.
Grind it out first. My daughter, when she graduated high school, wanted to go to veterinary school. So I had her meet with Chris Scheffler, who has Pearland Animal Hospital, and now he owns Pearland Barclay here. Yeah. Just to sit down and kind of pick his brain. And first thing he asked her was like, why do you like animals, or do you just want to be, because you can be a doctor and it's the same amount of schooling.
Hey, you're welcome.
But he was like, my advice would be go work in a vet clinic and see if you like it first. And it's the same thing for restaurants. Anthony Bourdain says this on his shows, like, before you open a restaurant, go work in a restaurant for a year and sweat and
go grind it out.
Stink, smell like all your clothes smell like grease. Do all that shit for a year and see if you like it first. And then maybe you can, go do it.
So speaking of that a little bit, a secondhand restaurant is furniture, fixtures, and equipment, right?
Yeah,
so
a lot of
FFEs,
times. Yeah, they'll get locked out, right? So they leave their furniture, fixtures, equipment, FF&E, and
so when you go into a place, do you see like they have all that there still? Did they have the cooking equipment there? Did they have something?
Yeah, a lot of times the spaces will come with whatever's existing in there.
Yeah.
TVs, whatever, sometimes there's dishes and racks and everything. But to open a restaurant and from scratch, from what I call just from the dirt, you got to put in your grease trap, you got to put in the vendor hood, coolers that are all really big ticket items.
$30,000, $60,000 coolers, right?
If you can luck into a restaurant that already has that stuff, it's half the battle.
So somebody's already fronted the bill, right? So that's the key.
Yeah.
Dude. Fuck yeah.
Dude. Great advice.
Yeah.
Jan wants to
restaurant 101.
Listen, I don't want to. I want a place I can. I already have a place. I come here. What are you talking about?
Right. It's not for sale anymore. So
you said 75.
I know when you said 75, I was like, I'll write a check for that right now.
What we got? Yeah. Okay.
That was then.
I feel like I spend that a year here anyways.
Yeah. And that's probably the craziest story about this place is when COVID happened, like before COVID, I was like, fuck this place, man. I'm here all the goddamn time. I'm making money half the time. Right, it seems fun. Like you guys come in, you're like, what? You're not having fun? I mean, I am having fun, but I like to make money. I like to make money too.
Right? Bro, I gotta pay bills. Like this cost. Everything costs.
Right? My thing is, I want to get rich. Yeah. Like so, if I'm gonna work that much, I want to get rich.
You'll be compensated.
And I had another guy a couple of years ago. Because I've always thought of myself as a one-restaurant guy. I wasn't a multi-unit guy. I didn't want to do 2, 3, 4, 5. And this guy I was talking to that had some franchise stuff. He goes, if you're going to have one, you might as well have 10. Why not? Because you're going to work anyway.
Exactly. So you're married to it anyway.
Well, maybe you're right. Yeah. So I don't know if I want 10, but we're working towards doing something else. But
I believe in you.
Before COVID, going from wanting to sell it and quitting and all that stuff, and it was hit or miss and having good years, bad years, and then after COVID, it just took off.
Yeah.
And I don't know what it was. I
think the environment you've held allowed people to go, shit, we are so tired of being cooped up, and nobody could talk to anybody. Yeah. Nobody could, you know what I mean? To a point where, like, you know what? Hey, you're like, hey, we're still here, guys. Yeah. Like, we're not shutting down. We're still here for you. And you made it in an environment that everybody could come to. A lot of places wouldn't do that. A lot of places had all these different mandates and all this stuff bullshit. But y'all hey, we got you. You want food? We got you. You got this?
Yeah,
we
and
got
I think it was a mixture of that too. Like you're right, people are cooped up and they're ready to party.
Yeah.
And then also during COVID, we did a lot of heartfelt things for the community that not everybody was doing. You know, so like when Harvey happened,
Yeah.
we made like I don't know 50 gallons of chicken soup and just gave away chicken soup to anybody that needed it. Like if you don't have power, you don't have an oven, you can't, you can heat this up, over a campfire, whatever you got, we can give you something you can do. And so we gave away gallons of chicken soup to people. So little things like that, I think the community recognized as good faith stuff. And I've always said people will support you if you're supporting them.
Yeah.
So we did enough good faith things during COVID with discounted meals and stuff to try and stretch every dollar and be nice to people. So when we opened up, I think people were nice to us. So it worked out.
Hey, good vibes out, good vibes in.
Yeah.
Let's go. Well,
Definitely did a good job making a connection, right, with the community. Like anybody you talk to is like, yeah, that's where they go. It's like going to hometown, and everybody I talk to knows Ram. Like even before I knew who Ram was, they were like, "Oh yeah, you Ram." I'm like, "I don't know, what are you talking about?" And then I meet him, which was a few years ago now. But even before that, everybody already knew that's Ram, and that's the hometown. Even before it was called Hometown, this was the hometown bar.
Yeah. I would always, when I was younger, I remember going to HEB with my dad, and everybody knew my dad. Like it took us an hour to go through HEB. I'm like, we just came from Maloney. What are we doing here?
Right.
But he'd stop and talk and stop and talk and stop and talk. And now I feel like when I go to HEB, especially this one here on Pearland Parkway, because we go quite a bit for something we run out of or whatever. It's like people are always like, "Hey, Ram, hey, buddy, hey." The Pearland Parkway guy.
I'm not gonna lie,
That's very
they're
cool.
secretly thinking like, is Ram shopping here for himself or is he shopping for the place?
Probably.
Right?
What is he buying?
Yeah, what is he doing?
Why does he have 60 jars of pickles? That's weird.
Bro, I'm telling you right now, James, my boy over here, has got the best brined pickles. It'll change your life. It's a thing. I don't know what I don't know how you do what you do with your pickles, man. But you're
Tell us about your pickles.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're sliced.
That took a turn right there.
I feel like it's an SNL skit.
Yeah, right.
It's going to turn into a skit because John's going to blast us all over social media.
Yeah.
Like,
I love to put his
Hey.
pickles in my mouth.
No,
I'm like,
nobody said that.
That's a real.
Only you said. I didn't say that. I'm not just saying, but bro.
hey, I appreciate the
Yeah.
hype. Yeah, thank you, man. Yeah, it's all in the brine. Like,
It's the brine.
Do you grow your own cucumbers?
I do not.
No. Hey, only
does.
I'm out.
Hey, listen.
John's got a huge
Bro.
garden.
It's all. Listen, I will tell you this. It's all in the brine, and it's a percentage of vinegar, like 5%, 9%.
It's a water.
It's a percentage that's what makes the pickle.
What do you put in there? Peppercorns, garlic, ginger? What do you
No.
put?
Definitely all of that. Yeah. But
Do
no
you?
ginger. No. It's garlic. It's pepper. It's I usually do habaneros. I'll spice it up. Do spicy
All
pickles. The vinegar that I use is a 9%.
So
So it
gave
gives
away
us
the
that
secret, bro.
extra little.
Now everybody's going to be
Everybody knows
Yeah.
fake. Everybody uses 5% when they make pickles. Everybody does.
Ooh.
That's wrong, bro.
No.
Go to
You're
9.
shaking things up with your 9%.
Hey, it makes a difference.
Yeah.
It's super, and the salt. You gotta make salt, but yeah.
All right,
I feel like we've spent too much time talking about pickles.
Exactly. Like,
Hey,
2
Ram.
minutes too long.
Ram, I just made one comment. It led into that.
Yeah. Well, let me lead you to say, Ram, hey, we thank you for being on the show.
And I'm glad you guys come. It's always
it
a
is
pleasure
awesome.
to see you as customers, and now the show. Cool, man. Had a great time. You down for the ballers board or what?
Let's go.
Yes, yes.
Let's do it.
Let's
Let's
do
see
it.
it.
Let's bring that thing
All
out.
right. Hey, coming up next is the Ballers Board, which I took a couple of videos of. I have no idea which really in this thing, so I'm excited to see it.
Let's see how big a baller you are.
Let's go.
And the MBBQA for their unwavering support.
Absolutely, and cheers to Barbecue News Magazine, Sucklebusters, and Dow Strong Knives for their contributions.
And Yeti always has our back, and Coolie Nation ensures our drinks stay perfectly cold.
Lastly, props to Cambro Manufacturing, and of course the Spicy Nut, the Chicks at Smoke Seasoning. Thanks to all for powering this show.
Until next time, keep smoking.